Today, we're diving into a powerful mindset that's completely changing how work gets done everywhere, from brand new startups to the biggest companies on the planet. We're talking about the Agile Advantage, and trust me, it's going to change how you think about getting a project from A to B.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Think about a big project you've worked on. Was the plan this rigid, unchangeable document basically set in stone from day one? Or was it more like your car's GPS, constantly recalculating the best route when you hit a surprise traffic jam? That's the core difference we're getting into.
All right, so first, let's talk about the old school way of doing things. For decades, the absolute gold standard was to create this one perfect, super detailed plan right at the start. And look, for really predictable work, that can be okay. But what happens when the world changes on you? What happens when the map itself is wrong?
Yeah, this chart right here, this is the perfect picture of that old approach. You can see how every single little step, every dependency, is all mapped out from the very beginning. This is what they call the waterfall method. You define everything, then you build it all, then you test it all at the end. It's one long sequence. But here's the problem, right? What if your customer's needs change halfway through? Trying to change this thing is like trying to turn a freight train. It's slow, it's a huge pain, and it's going to cost you.
And that, right there, is the big challenge we all face now. We live in a world where technology and what customers want can literally change overnight. That perfect set of requirements you spent months writing, 6 months later, they could be totally useless. And that's exactly where these super rigid traditional plans just start to fall apart.
So if that old way is cracking under all this pressure, what's the alternative? Well, this is where Agile Project Management comes into the picture. It's a modern approach that was literally built from the ground up to embrace change, not run away from it.
Now, let's be super clear. Agile isn't about having no plan. Oh no, it's about a much smarter way of planning. It's an approach that's all about flexibility, about building things in small, iterative steps. And this isn't just some passing trend. This shift is so fundamental that it's literally rewriting the official playbooks on project management, all because we need to be more adaptable. This comparison really gets to the heart of it. Think of traditional project management like a strict recipe. You follow every step exactly as written. No deviations allowed. Agile, though, it's more like a set of guiding principles for a chef. It gives you a framework and then trusts you, the expert, to adapt to the ingredients you have. Change isn't a problem to be avoided. It's an opportunity to make something even better.
Okay, theory is great, but how does all this actually translate into results? Let's get down to brass tacks and see how Agile actually gets real value into the hands of customers way faster.
So the engine that really drives Agile is this little cycle called a sprint. I want you to just forget about those massive year-long projects. Instead, all the work is broken down into these short, super focused bursts, usually about 1 to 4 weeks long. And in every single sprint, the team plans a small chunk of work, builds it, tests it, and delivers a working piece of the product. It's that simple.
And the impact of this is, well, it's huge. It's not just about being fast, it's about being aligned. See, because your customers get to see a working piece of the product every couple of weeks, their feedback becomes a core part of the process. It's a continuous conversation. So you're not just building things faster, you're building the right thing every single step of the way. It pretty much guarantees that the final product is what they actually wanted.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The benefits of Agile go way beyond just the product itself. It completely changes how a team works together, and it creates this amazing environment that's all about quality and empowerment.
Think about this. When you're testing things in small, frequent batches, you catch bugs and problems almost right away. Finding a problem a week after you created it, that's usually a pretty simple fix. But finding that same exact bug 6 months down the line, buried under tons of other code, that can be an absolute disaster and cost a fortune to fix. This early detection is really the secret sauce to Agile's amazing quality.
This whole philosophy also redefines what it means to be a leader. The traditional project manager's job is to direct the work, to tell people what to do. But in the Agile world, a leader, like a Scrum Master, is more of a coach. Their job isn't to hand out tasks, it's to clear roadblocks out of the way and empower the team to figure out the best way to work. And that level of trust, that autonomy, it does wonders for morale. And it absolutely unlocks a team's creative problem-solving power.
And I love this quote from W. Edwards Deming, because it just perfectly explains why Agile works. Having 20 years of experience doing the wrong thing over and over again, well, that's not really valuable, is it? Agile forces you into this constant cycle of learning and improving, making sure that your team's hard-earned experience is always being used to do the right things, the things that actually matter to your customer.
So let's pull all these threads together. When you combine this incredible flexibility, this intense focus on the customer, this built-in quality control, and this empowered team, what do you get? Well, you get the Agile Advantage.
So, if we boil it all down, this is it. You get the flexibility to roll with the punches. You get much higher customer satisfaction because you're building exactly what they need. You get your products out the door faster, which gives you a huge competitive edge. The quality is better because you're catching problems when they're small. And you do all of this with teams that are more productive and more motivated than ever. It's a whole system for winning in a complex world.
So we end up right back where we started, but now with a totally new perspective. In a world that refuses to stand still, maybe the biggest risk you can take is to rigidly stick to your original plan. So the real question for you is, are your projects built to last, or are they built to adapt?